Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the program. Now, first of all, just to let you know, no long-winded speeches today, no quotes from dead guys, none of that sort of stuff. So, all right. I'm Steve Murray. This is the worst program on the internet, sports, and here's how things were supposed to go. We were supposed to sit down here together and have a little chat about Michigan's 10-page response to the Big Ten in regards to the allegations that Michigan was receiving improper benefits by having one of its analysts, Connor Stallions, we all know who this guy is now, go to game, get that information illegally, and do what they do with that sort of thing. And of course, Michigan's response really centered around three areas, right? One was that the Big Ten didn't follow its own rules while conducting this investigation. Two, that any punishment that would come down either to the university or to football coach Jim Harbaugh would be premature because, according to Michigan, the Big Ten has not provided any real evidence to show anybody was involved. And then number three, of course, it was that even if there was any evidence, and I'm using the Michigan evidence air quotes, if there was any evidence, the Big Ten had failed to show how that evidence actually proved an advantage to Michigan and, I guess, a detriment to the teams that it had played. Again, that's what we were supposed to talk about. Things didn't work out that way, did it? Now, here we are just today, one day before Michigan takes on Penn State, and the Big Ten responded, right? Now, at this point, I think with such a late day in the week, I think most of us thought that a response from the Big Ten was probably still a week away. Nope, not at all. Michigan kind of threw down a challenge, right? It was trying to control the narrative, which, by the way, I think is a smart thing to do, right? Don't get caught up in the weeds. Don't try to get talking about what they may or may not have done, right? In these situations, you stick to the formula. You deflect and then try to change the narrative. And that's exactly what I think Michigan was trying to do in the letter they had sent to the Big Ten. Again, they threw the gauntlet down saying, there you go, Big Ten, do your best. They issued a challenge. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti apparently said, challenge accepted. In the Big Ten's response, which again came out just a little late Friday afternoon, I guess is just the best way to say it, was that they were going to suspend Michigan head football coach Jim Harbaugh for the remaining 3 games on the regular season Big Ten schedule. It says, this is from the Big Ten response. It says, this is for conducting an impermissible in-person scouting operation over multiple years that resulted in unfair competitive advantage and compromised the integrity of the competition, right? Basically the same thing the Big Ten has been saying since day one. The Big Ten has also clarified its position, or its ruling, I should say, because there was some questions. I know, just listening to online stuff, reading some things as well, and they made it clear that Jim Harbaugh will be suspended for all game day activities, meaning he can take part in the week of practice, he can game plan, he can do everything he normally does, but he just cannot be at the facility on game day. No locker room, no sideline, no press box. He has to stay far away. Now, of course, Michigan's response is what you would expect. They are doubling down on their initial charge that the Big Ten has yet to prove anything, any sort of, again, impermissible benefit, any sort of illegal or improper action taken by any University of Michigan staffer. And that, once again, the Big Ten is overplaying its hand and not even following the basic rules to which everybody agreed to play under. Take that for what it's worth. No surprise as well is that Michigan has already said that they will seek basically most likely a legal injunction, a temporary restraining order that would prevent the Big Ten from I guess, enforcing the Jim Harbaugh ban at upcoming games. Now, here we stand at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15 miles from the big house. And so far, as best I can tell, no judge has yet made any sort of determination. Now, I have read that apparently Michigan may have a judge just ready to go just in case. Will this happen before game day? I don't know. If it does, what exactly the judge will say, again, is just open to scrutiny. So now what comes next, right? That's the big question. Again, it does look like Jim Harbaugh will be banned from all University of Michigan games through the game versus Ohio State. Much like the fine was going to make no one happy, I think the suspension is going to make absolutely no one happy. Of course, Michigan has already responded, saying they're going to take a legal action to stop this. They've already said before that whatever the Big Ten does, they're going to fight against us. So obviously, they're not pleased with the outcome. And really, if you're a Big Ten coach, if you're a university president, you've been kind of leading this fight against Michigan, is it really a big enough punishment to say, evil villain number one, America's most wanted, is just going to kind of get a couple hours off every week? He's still going to be doing everything a normal coach does, is just that he's not going to be there at game day. And again, is this much of a punishment against Michigan? Jim Harbaugh is not a play-calling coach. There's been many throughout the years in football and college and the professional ranks. Some head coaches are play callers. Some are more of CEOs and administrators. Jim Harbaugh tends to be the latter. So I don't see this as a really big hit against Michigan. As a matter of fact, this may be just a good piece of middle ground by the Big Ten Commissioner's office. But is anybody happy? No. No. Again, Michigan will get the lawyers involved, the other school presidents and head coaches. They're probably not going to say a lot of things officially, but they cannot be happy watching, again, the guy who they say just try to steal games will be able to prepare his team, won't get suspended, won't get fined. Again, this is not going to end anytime soon. My last video had asked the question about what does Jim Harbaugh do next, and I said it's in my opinion that regardless of the outcome of what's happening now, that this is most likely the last season that Jim Harbaugh will be at Michigan, and I stick to that. I think that's still true. Jim Harbaugh is not a guy to suffer fools lightly. And if you've ever had any experience in the media and dealt with athletic coaches, they pretty much think everybody's a fool except for themselves. And with openings available in the NFL, I think it just makes sense that he finally just washes his hands and says, you know what? I'm done, right? I don't want to deal with this stuff. I don't want to deal with the NIL. I don't want to deal with the Big Ten. I don't want to deal with the NCAA. I got opportunities in the NFL, at least it seems to be. I mean, it's been, 3 years in a row he did trying to get an NFL gig. Now one of his, best friends in the NFL, and that, of course, is the Al Davis family. They have recently fired their coach as the Raiders head coach, so there's an opening there. Most likely we're going to see an opening in Chicago, where Jim Harbaugh played most of his professional career, so that could be an option as well. So again, the story won't end. I just don't know what the next twists and turns are going to be. And really, that's what makes all this stuff kind of fun, doesn't it? Look, like I said, I'm here in Southeast Michigan. I'm 15 miles away or so from the stadium. I grew up a Big Ten fan, a Michigan fan. I want to see Michigan make that run to the national championship, but you also want to be a realist as well. I mean, I don't know what I think, honestly, about the entire sign stealing thing. This Connor Stallion guy has not come out to really look like a trustworthy character. There was a recent Wall Street Journal article where apparently, as a student at the U.S. Naval Academy, Connor Stallions tried to do the same thing, offer his same sort of services of breaking down signals to then Navy coach Ken Niumatalolo. Coach Ken was just like, nah, I'm good, bro, thanks. Now, whether Jim Harbaugh accepted that offer, I have no idea. Does it matter? Yeah, I think it does. I mean, look, there's a reason everybody calls signals in private, right? Because you don't want the other team to know. So having any sort of insight is a definite advantage. Is it too much? Is it more than, say, Ohio State and Rutgers getting together to help get information to Purdue before the Michigan-Purdue Big Ten Championship last year? Dan Wetzel, the columnist for Yahoo Sports, says, no, it doesn't make a difference. He said either everybody's guilty or no one is. Guess we'll have to find out soon enough. But I do thank you here for joining me once again on this program. And if you could, go ahead, please hit the like button if you would. Subscribe as well. Also, what are you thinking? I mean, does this kind of put a cap on everything? Do you think the judgment versus Michigan is just? Do you think it went overboard? Do you think it's not enough? Let me know. Post a comment, shoot me an email. And as always, if you're looking for more poorly produced online content, don't forget about the other show, World's Worst Program on the Internet, ... The Blues. Actually just posted a video just yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, featuring B.B. King, the number 33rd inductee to our Mount Rushmore of the Blues. So anyway, my name is Steve Murray. I do appreciate you stopping by. Again, drop me a note, hit a like, whatever you feel like doing. Hey, it's all cool by me. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Take care.